Hello, friends. How are you? My name is Mike. This channel is Health and Wealth. Thanks for joining me today on another episode of YieldMax ETF. So today we're going to review CONY. We're going to see how it's done so far since it's come out. The good, the bad, the ugly. Also going to reveal what I have in CONY. And if you've watched previous videos, thank you so much for subscribing and being here again today. Let's go over it together. Now, Bitcoin has taken off over the last 4 or 5 days here. And CONY is a crypto play per se. It is following along Coinbase. Coinbase is almost like a crypto wallet. It allows you to buy and sell cryptocurrencies. Now, Bitcoin being the big boy, right? So with Bitcoin going up, Coinbase is also going up in the last couple of days here. And, for me, I have a small investment in CONY. And so far I've been, pretty happy with it. So if you don't know the plan is to hold it for 5 years. This is the only one that I am dripping, as in I'm going to let it reinvest into itself every single month or every 4 weeks. And we're going to see what it's at 5 years from today. Now, it could be $190,000. It could be $0 in 5 years from today. But not today. I guess it's 4 years and 10 months away from now. But that's the risk I'm willing to take, especially because I only put a small amount of money in there. I'll reveal that to you shortly here. So this is Coinbase. In the last month, Coinbase has gone up 7.87%. Most of that has come over the last 5 days here, of 19% in the last 5 days. So that's pretty darn good. CONY also kind of doing very well here in the last 5 days, up 14%. Now, CONY did pay out a distribution recently, and so that could have helped its recent drop in price. But if we take a look at the last month, it is down 3%. Last 6 months, down 32%. So if you are somebody who is a traditional investor, this probably is not the investment for you. And speaking of investment advice, this is not advice. I am not a stock analyst or financial advisor. Please seek help from the professionals rather than watching YouTube. This is for fun and entertainment. So if you have fun and if you're even slightly entertained, hit the subscribe button. I'd love to have you for the ride, and we'll see how far we can take this thing. I went to YieldMax's website and took all of their distributions and have written them down on a page here. So similar to my page from Misty that I revealed the other night, I'll go ahead and link that video at the end of this video for you. We have done pretty well here. So CONY, I've had it for 6 months, and I'll show you the distributions I've got so far on my passive account. Whenever I invested enough to buy 183 shares. My average cost was $16.18 for those 183 shares. Now, the current price is $3 less than that. Well, just under $3 less than that. So it's right now $13.62. So my total investment into CONY was $2,960 of my own hard-earned money that I have taken from my time at work, and I've put it into CONY here. That's the last dollar that my work is ever going to put into CONY, and it's just an experiment, right? I'm testing the waters to see if I'm able to have that drip all the way for the next 5 years and see what happens, right? Now, this past month, I was pretty happy. It bought me enough shares, and you can see it up here. Shares dripped on January 2025 here, 10 shares. So it bought me 10 shares. I didn't have to do anything for that. And I'm hoping for the next time. 10, 10, 10, 10, until we get enough to buy 11, 11, 11, 11, until we get enough to buy 12, right? We're going to continue to build that snowball by doing nothing. Is that a good thing? No. You should actively be watching your investments, but for this particular one, I want to play that game. I don't care if it goes to $0. It's $2,960. That's not the end of the world if it goes. But if we play the game and it goes to where I want it to go, the predictions are that it could be at $190,000 before or at year 5. And so when it's at $190,000, play the game, right? Pretend how many shares is that going to be buying me every single 4 weeks? Now, will CONY be around 5 years from now? That's the question. It has been out for a year and a bit now, and it's done very, very well in terms of distributions. Now, share price, that's a different story, but really in the grand scheme of things, not that bad. It's down a couple of bucks from where I bought it 6 months ago. My total dividends or distributions, I should change that. Distributions received is $272 so far. And I mean, again, it's only 6 months. I actually just recently purchased most of those shares. CONY's total distribution all time is $25.80, 87 cents. That is incredible. If you're an initial holder of CONY, you have to be happy with that. You're all profit right now, if that's the case, right? And so that share price, yeah, you want it to go up. Of course you want it to go up, but you also want to get those distributions for that income. Let's take a look at CONY over the since it came out. So August of 2023, it started at $18.42. So since then, it's down, what's the math on it? Like $4.20, something like that. But you've made $25.87 in distribution since then. So for me, that's pretty darn good. And that's what's appealed to me with this. Yes, the share price is low. Do I believe in Bitcoin? Yes, I do. Do I believe in cryptocurrency? Yeah, I think it's got a strong future, and I think that's where the world is kind of turning. Now, there's so many like bull cases for it, so many bear cases for crypto. Um, could it be all make-believe and, a Ponzi scheme? Possibly. But again, I don't care. You guys know that song? Sing it to yourself right now. I can't sing it for copyright reasons, but I don't care. It's okay, right? It's not a ton of money I've put in here, and it's okay if I lose it. Now, for you, if you're putting outside of your budget money into YieldMax funds, just be cautious because the market could turn on a dime. And if it does turn on a dime, are you prepared to face those downside slopes that we have seen slightly before, but not to the extent of where it could go? Just 3 weeks ago, right after Christmas, people were panicking. They had three 3 days of downside. I'm selling. YieldMax is the worst. Could you imagine that, but for 6 months or a year? How would you deal with that? So for me, another thing that I'm doing is I am taking a little bit of each distribution I get from my Nvidia, from my Misty, and I'm taking it as cash for the just in case. I don't want to be that person that is not ready for the downside. So I'm not taking a lot of cash. I'm only taking 10%, and I'm kind of setting it aside. But I think it's important to be prepared for the downside, buy the dips, and then hopefully don't run out of money so that I can't buy any more dips as it keeps dipping. So yeah, there's my total shares at the top right-hand side, 193 shares right now. Pretty good. I'm happy with that. So I'm hoping in the next couple of weeks that goes to 203 and then 213 and then so far. Continue the progression from there. We'll say that. So been happy so far. Talk to me about drip. Are you doing drip? For me, I generally don't do it. I always like to buy on the X distribution date because the share price does drop. I did get a comment in my chat, why CONY and not QQQY? So I was invested in QQQY for about 3 months, about a year ago. But QQQY, yes, it does pay out a distribution, but it's a failing ETF in my opinion. I mean, if you look at the last 5 days, it's up 1%. That's pretty awesome. But if we go over the last 6 months, it's down 28%. And here's the reason I shared with that person in the comments. Take a look at the shape of that graph. It looks like stairs, right? So right now, I want to be a carpenter, and I want to think one step ahead. What I'm looking at here is somebody that is maybe a new carpenter, and they're not thinking one step ahead. And so if we bring this thing out a full year, you can see that these steps are going downwards and not going up at all. So yes, you are getting a distribution, but is there an end in sight? They did do a reverse split, and did they fix their issue? Doesn't look like they did. So they're just going to keep going downwards in share price, even though this is a fund that is tracking the 3Qs, and the 3Qs are going up. So shouldn't this be going up as well? So for me, this is not investable. I am not interested in this thing at all. I did test it out with 10 whole shares for 3 months, and I said nope, I'm out of here, because I saw that it was going downwards the entire time. Now if we take a look at CONY, yeah, it's gone down, but it also goes up a little bit here too, plus it's paying the distribution. So that's why for me, I am sticking with CONY as opposed to QQQY, which is going nowhere but down. So that's that. So next up, I wanted to show you my passive account here. This is my dividend tracking tool, and every month I have a goal of I have a goal of building 6 pillars of income that will pay me $500 per pillar. And so, that goal is there. I also own a little bit of NVIDIA, not much, but if I can get over $1,000 a month at this stage, then I'm pretty happy about that. And this month, here it is. I made $1,032 after tax. So I am happy about that. You can see previous months, it was more, but that's going to be my 3rd month over $1,000 so far. I hope to keep that trend going this year. Only time will tell. But this month, NVIDIA paid first. It paid $372. It's going to pay again in 11 days from now-ish, 11 days on the 31st. CONY paid me $221 this month, and Misty paid me $439. Now, this is in Canadian. The previous chart I showed you was in US, because that's what I get paid in is US, but this passive understands that I'm from Canada, and so it changes it over to Canadian funds for me, and it tells me the money after the tax has been taken away from me too, which is really, really great. But I have had CONY for 6 months here. You can see there's a $1 distribution. I only had 1 share. Here's a $2 distribution. I had 2 shares. Again, $2 for CONY, $9 for CONY, $161 for CONY. And then this month I went all the way to the 183 shares. So $221 in with CONY, Canadian again, right? Not US. So if you're thinking, well, didn't CONY pay out 83 cents? Yes, it did. That's in US, so that's 221. If you do the math, right, that's the reason why it's 221 and not like 100 and whatever, or yeah, like $165, something like that. So down below here I have a chart, and there's my NVIDIA total distribution so far, $5,066. Misty's pay me $2,897. It's catching up. And then CONY so far $395 Canadian. So that's pretty good. Who knows? Maybe one day CONY might supersede and take over both my Misty and my NVIDIA. But hey, you never know. Talk to me about my strategy. How do you feel about that? Do you do anything like that right now, where you just buy and hold and let the system do the buying for you with the drips? I feel like right now that is a great way of doing it. I'm excited to see the future of my account, and I'm also excited to grow this YouTube channel. So expect more content from me coming up. I definitely appreciate that you are still here right now. Thank you so much for tuning in. My name is Mike. This channel is Health and Wealth. Have a great night. Go Bills, go. Bye for now.